Hi, I'm Jasmine Marquez, student of the Montrose High School. This semester I had the opportunity to have an internship at the Montrose County Workforce Center. Um, this is a facility I spent about 2 quarters of my semester. I'd walk in, set up the computers so they'd be ready for the next person that walked in. I had to set them up about every 20 minutes because it would log off, and I had to type in a password so it'd be ready and quick for whenever someone needed it. Um, then the Workforce Center is a place where you can get job training if you qualify, business services, the WIOA is the Opportunity Act, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. They also help the youth get employment. They had also veteran service, and for veterans, they would always be the first ones, no matter how long the list was or whatever. They'd be the first ones to be assisted. And throughout this, they had many benefits throughout it. As a job seeker, they gave you guidance. They give you a website to look through jobs that come out. They let you use their copier, fax printer, their phones, free internet and computer access. They helped you throughout just so you wouldn't struggle on finding a job and be able to find something you'd like or help you out. And throughout like job training, they would explain to you what are your limitations, what would be next with what goes on, how would they help you, things like that. And it's not just Montrose that provides the service, it's actually in Colorado. That's called the Workforce, that there's a bunch of different locations. For the Western Slope, we have Montrose, Delta, and Gunnison. I also did, so if there was days that was pretty slow, I would help them out with highlighting paperwork. So these are small pamphlets that talked about how to register online, and you'd go on to www.connectingcolorado.com, and that's where you'd sign up. And if you hadn't had already like a login or anything, they would help you set one up. I did one to know what I was supposed to do, and you just need like information on your social security, your address, several simple things. And if you didn't have a resume, they'd also help you out in building one. And so their translator also was not there, and he was on a vacation, I'm pretty sure. I wasn't told much, but that's what I kind of heard. So out of the 6 employees, none of them spoke Spanish, and so I helped out in translating paperwork. I worked on this paper just to help those employees that work at Russell Stover's. And what I mainly did with this stuff is it took me a couple days to finish them, but I made sure I did them right just to help them out so it wouldn't hold them back to try and find a translator. They still had to send this through approval, but it helped them out because then they didn't have to pay someone else to do it for them. And it was really good practice for me. There's times I forgot what I was supposed to do, and I would text my mom because I couldn't remember how to translate certain things, but it really worked out, and I enjoyed this time. I do not have the pictures of how it was there, since COVID-19 kind of took over. But so this is how there's about 12 computers set up in the front. This is how you'd walk up to them. It'd already be set up with www.connectingcolorado.com, and then you would just, by the time you got to your computer, all you had to do was log in. Unless if you had other things to do, then you could X out of it and do what something else you needed help on. But those computers, you're not allowed to go on Facebook to try to use free Wi-Fi. You had to use them for good purposes. And then here's the logo. And one thing they would try to have at least 3 times a year is a job fair. I was going to be attending one. They were going to have one in April, May-ish. Actually, I think it was May. Towards the end of the school year to help out the youth with employments for the summer so they can keep themselves distracted. But now the summer has actually kind of slowed down, so it's really difficult to get a job, and especially that there's older people that are struggling with keeping their families together. So job fair never happened, but it does help. They talk to you about what you can do, what will fit you. They help you throughout the entire process. They don't just leave you there. And that's pretty much it. They walk you through safety also, the do's and don'ts, and what you should be aware of and agree with. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this experience, and I wish I could have done a longer time period with this. And I'd like to thank my supervisor, Antonio Morales, for helping me throughout, even though he probably had several work to do. He still put time aside to help me out and for me to help them out too. And I really love this experience. Thank you.